The Zephyrian Council had prepared for many things when the unknown vessels appeared at the edge of their dying system. They had prepared for conquest, for exploitation, for the final harvesting of their world's remaining resources. What they had not prepared for was the massive dreadnought that deployed. A dining hall. Ambassador Kethavar watched through the observation deck as the human fleet arranged itself in perfect formation around Zephyr Prime. 17 capital ships, each one larger than their entire remaining defense force, hung in space like sleeping giants. But instead of weapons charging or landing craft deploying, the humans had extended what appeared to be a colossal banquet hall from their flagship's belly. "Sir," Communications Officer Yeltan's voice cracked with exhaustion, "the aliens are requesting permission to feed our population." Kethavar's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of deep confusion among his species. The Zephyrians had been starving for 3 cycles now, ever since the Great Blight consumed their agricultural systems. Their distress signals had been broadcasting for months, growing weaker as their power reserves dwindled. When the massive energy signatures appeared on their sensors, they had assumed the worst. "Translation confirmed, sir," Yeltan continued. "They say they've brought enough food to sustain our entire civilization for 10 cycles." On the main screen, a human appeared. The alien was bipedal, with strange pale skin and small forward-facing eyes. When it spoke, the translation matrix rendered its words in perfect Zephyrian. "Greetings, people of Zephyr Prime. I am Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Federation. We received your distress calls and have come to offer assistance. Our ships carry enough provisions to feed your entire population while we work together to restore your agricultural systems." Kethavar's secondary stomach rumbled, a sound he hadn't heard in weeks. This must be some form of psychological warfare. No species travels the void to feed strangers. But even as he spoke, he could see transport shuttles beginning to ferry enormous cargo containers down to the planet's surface. Each container was the size of a city block. Dr. Mirthak, their chief xenobiologist, studied the readings from the cargo ships. "Ambassador, these containers, they're climate-controlled biostorage units. The energy reading suggests they contain enough organic matter to feed our entire population for years." "And the catch?" Kethavar asked, his tactical mind racing. "What do they want in return?" The human admiral seemed to hear his thoughts. "We ask for nothing in return, Ambassador Kethavar. My species has a saying, no one should starve while others feast. We've brought agricultural specialists, terraforming equipment, and enough food to see you through until your world heals." Within hours, the impossible became reality. Human Engineering Corps descended on Zephyr Prime like a beneficial swarm. They set up massive food distribution centers with the efficiency of a military operation, but the compassion of... Kethavar struggled to find the word. His language had no equivalent for what he was witnessing. The humans called it humanitarian aid. Captain Rodriguez, the human officer overseeing the ground operations, walked alongside Kethavar through one of the distribution centers. Zephyrian families, many seeing their first real meal in months, sat at long tables that seemed to stretch to the horizon. "Your species," Kethavar observed. "You came armed for war but brought gifts of peace. Why?" Rodriguez paused to watch a human medic treating a malnourished Zephyrian child. "Admiral, in our history we learned that the strongest species isn't the one with the biggest weapons. It's the one that lifts others up. We brought the Armada because space is dangerous and we needed to protect the food ships. But we brought the food because we remember being hungry. Your species has known famine?" "Oh yes," Rodriguez nodded grimly. "Many times. We nearly destroyed ourselves fighting over scraps while our planet withered. We learned that abundance shared is abundance multiplied. Now when we find someone in need, we don't ask if they're human or alien, friend or stranger. We ask if they're hungry." Over the following days, Kethavar watched in amazement as the humans deployed what they called agricultural restoration protocols. Massive terraforming ships worked alongside Zephyrian scientists to heal the blighted soil. Atmospheric processors cleaned the poisoned air. Most remarkably, human botanists shared genetic templates for earth crops that could thrive in Zephyrian soil conditions. "You're giving us your food production secrets," Dr. Mirthak marveled as he studied the genetic data. "These templates are worth fortunes." Dr. Sarah Park, the lead human agriculturalist, laughed. "Knowledge hoarded is knowledge wasted. Food security is everyone's security. When your people are fed, trade flourishes. When trade flourishes, everyone benefits. It's basic economics. 3 weeks later, as the first green shoots appeared in Zephyrian soil for the first time in cycles, Admiral Chen prepared to depart. Her fleet had been resupplied by Terran cargo vessels, but they left behind permanent installations, food processors, atmospheric scrubbers, and a small garrison to help with ongoing restoration efforts. "I don't understand your species," Kethvar admitted during the farewell ceremony. "You have the power to conquer worlds, yet you choose to feed them." Admiral Chen smiled, a peculiar human expression that somehow conveyed both sadness and hope. "Ambassador, conquest is temporary. Empires built on force crumble eventually, but a galaxy where no world starves, that's a legacy worth building. When other species look at humanity, we want them to see the people who brought dinner, not the ones who brought destruction." As the human fleet departed, Kethavar stood in the growing fields surrounding the capital city. His people were singing, an ancient Zephyrian song of gratitude that hadn't been heard since before the Blight. In the distance, human agricultural drones worked alongside Zephyrian farmers, teaching and learning in equal measure. The humans had arrived with enough firepower to glass a planet, but they had chosen to plant gardens instead. As Kethvar watched the sunset paint the sky purple over the healing world, he began to understand why the galaxy was starting to whisper about the strange bipedal species that conquered hunger instead of worlds. Perhaps, he thought, this was what true strength looked like.